Let's go.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So this evening, as we mentioned this morning, I don't know if anything, can anyone play Madonna here? Anyone play harmonium? Very well. Any good harmonium players here? None of the ladies play harmonium. We'll just do the best we can. As you may well be aware, of course, next year is 1965. It'll be next year the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's arrival in Boston. And not that this song tonight which we're singing is because of that necessarily. I mentioned this morning this poem written by Srila Prabhupada in 1965. When he first arrived in Boston, is practically speaking the foundation of their movement. Being the first literature that Prabhupada wrote in the life in Western Europe. Very significant to help us to understand the mood of this movement. Really Srila Prabhupada mission. So it's very rarely, sometimes, but very rarely sung or even spoken. Many devotees are not familiar with it very much. But I would, because we recommend a lot of things. One of the things we recommend is that we regularly meditate on this particular, like Prabhupada said, after the spiritual master's departure from this world, the disciple should meditate upon his instructions and find out how to fulfill those instructions. This is our service. Instruction of spiritual master is our life and Swami. And in this particular poem, Srila Prabhupada gives us the essence of his. It's not so much of an instruction, this is Srila Prabhupada's own, his own heart, revealing to us the mood and relationship of the pure devotee of the Lord. We're going to try to sing this tonight. Om Chakshuranmritam yena tasmai Shri Chaitanya Manobisham Savitam yena mutare Swayam Rupagadayam Tadati Swavadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Parakamam Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Savajatam Sagananatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Savana Lalita Shri Vishakam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Paramami Avipriye Panchakalpatarusya Kripa Sindhurecha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Krishna Prasaya Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Almost 50 years ago now, Srila Prabhupada set out on board the Jaladita on this boat to cross over the ocean to spread the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very prophetically, of course, the boat itself is called Jaladuta, which means the messenger who crosses the ocean. The boat even predicted Srila Prabhupada's mission. Even on the boat, Srila Prabhupada was selling his Bhagavatams. He sold a set of Bhagavatams to Captain Pandya for $20. Other than that, Srila Prabhupada had 40 rupees to his name. He had several hundred sets of the first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam and some leaflets about the life and mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What else did he have? He had some cereal. He took some cereal from India, thinking that it may not be possible to find anything to eat in America. What else did he have?
Cooking pots.
Yes, his famous cooking pots, his 3-tier cooking pots, where he would cook his lunch. The dal on the bottom, and then in the other tier is the rice and the sabji. What else did he have? Pardon? An umbrella. Very important item. Whatever clothes, of course, for his little clothing that he had, for his maintenance, practically speaking, very well. Some manuscripts of the Srimad Bhagavatam for translation in purple. Maybe a few other things. Cartels. Very little property as he set out alone. A lone ranger on a journey to America with no support in India from anybody. Literally. And no idea what would he face in America. One time in England there was a time which was a challenging time. It says first time when the local government were trying to restrict the worship of their Bhagavata manner to next to nil. There were many court cases and discussions right up to Parliament House. It was even discussed in the main plenary session of Parliament. It was quite a big issue. It came to the Queen. She was also involved. Quite a big issue. And QC, the Queen's Counsellor, was also involved. Elderly gentleman, I think it was the Queen's Counsellor, elderly gentleman representing the Queen. And he had to also give his impressions or his input into the case. So he went out of his way to find out a little bit about this movement, especially about Srila Prabhupada, the founder. And he actually read the Prabhupada Lilamrita, at least the shortened version. He took it seriously. And when Srila Swami was the GBC of England at the time, he had an interview with him. He wanted to talk to him about the whole issue as they were talking. This elderly gentleman, the QC, said to Srila Swami, looked him in the eye and said, "You do not know what a great thing your spiritual teacher has done," he said. Well, Sri Ramaraj at that time would have been in his 40s. He thought, what do you know about what a great thing my spiritual master has done? Who are you to say that to me? I mean, naturally I've thought of it, but you couldn't say that because you're dealing with a person who could turn the case one way or another, literally by one word practically. So he didn't respond, he just kind of respond with recognition without actual necessarily agreeing, but he kind of a little mum. And, being an intelligent person, people are in positions they do have a little bit of something above the cut, that's where they're in a position. He could see that Srila Swami didn't understand what he meant. So he said, "No, you do not understand what a great thing your spiritual teacher has done." And Srila didn't really know what to say. Of course we know what a great thing our spiritual teacher has done. In one sense, we may not know the extent of it, but, how can he know the extent of it? He's not even following it. Probably not even following any principles. Almost certainly a meat eater and probably a drinker and what else? He was in his 70s, the elderly gentleman. And he said, "No, you do not know what I mean. Let me explain." He said, "Your spiritual teacher started his mission when he was in his 70s. You do not know what it's like when you're in your 70s. You cannot understand. You have to reach that age, then you will understand what I mean." That's what he said. He took it very seriously. When he saw, when he read the Prabhupada Lilamrita, and saw what Prabhupada did, to some extent, at that age, with no support from any institution, not even from a single godbrother, encouragement was a little bit of some, with no idea what would happen when you reach the other end, at all. No financial backing, nothing. Prabhupada had nothing. He didn't have a mobile phone, a bank account, laptop. He had nothing like that. But they weren't very popular in those days. And he knew nobody in America. He didn't even know if his sponsor would be there to meet him. sponsor was shocked out of his, how can you say, out of his head when he heard that Prabhupada was coming. He thought he would never come. Mr. Agarwal in Agra had met him casually and said that he wanted to go to America, and this man who hardly knew Prabhupada said, "Don't worry, Swamiji, I will arrange through my son to sponsor you," as he done with many other people who never ever came. So he asked his son in America, Mr. Agarwal, to sponsor Prabhupada. Probably didn't know about it. He didn't know it had been done until a letter came saying your sponsorship's been passed and you can now apply for your visa and this and that. And he didn't know if he would be there. And Mr. Agarwal was shocked. Oh my God, the Swami's coming. Oh my God, not even vegetarians. Indian, not vegetarian. Smoked, drank. The Swami's coming. Oh my God. Sally, what are we going to do? They arranged for him to stay in the youth hostel, YMCA, youth hostel nearby. They're in a small place. It wasn't in New York. Prabhupada didn't know them, they didn't know him, he didn't know what to expect. And he had no other connections at all. Can you imagine at 70, when you're 70 years old in that situation, going with the intention of basically, once starting a whole mission meant to change the consciousness of the world? It's quite unusual. And when he first arrived, even on the boat, going over on the Jaladuta, you had a free boat ride, as you know, on the boat of the Jaladuta, this India steamship, cargo ship. And Samati Maharaji had given him a free ticket. So when he arrived in Boston, after a very trying journey, at least the first part was very trying, seasickness, heart attacks, so many challenges on board, which Srila Prabhupada had to tolerate. And Krishna appeared to him in a dream, assuring him not to worry, and said, "I am rowing the boat, do not worry." And actually, the Prabhupada was rowing the Jaladuta, but the actual story is what he said, that Krishna was rowing a boat in front of the Jaladuta and was pulling the Jaladuta. Not only Krishna, all the avatars were rowing the boat, pulling the Jaladuta. And after that dream, the ocean became super calm and very, very easy to cross over. And then, when Prabhupada finally arrived in Boston, and as you may know, he also went for a walk in Boston. Captain Pandya took him for a walk around Boston, and Prabhupada got his papers stamped and everything there in Boston before entering to America. And then he took a walk around the docks areas of Boston. That's still, there was every year, there have been several times on this program, but we go on a boat. Let me put the name of the Jaladuta, hundreds of devotees, we go out on a boat and go around the harbour. We go to the Commonwealth Pier where Prabhupada arrived, and offer arti and flowers and everything, chant, puja to Srila Prabhupada. Also read this poem of Srila Prabhupada, and the one also which he wrote just before he reached in Boston, Prayer to the Lotus Feet. But today we're going to try to sing this particular song. We're going to go through the purport out of the translation again. We went through it this morning briefly. This is the translation of the song. So let us try to take ourselves back 50 years ago to Boston. There was no Krishna consciousness in America per se. It was 1965, barely speaking. Vegetarianism was almost like a dangerous cult. When I said to my mother, I've become a Mrs. I was in college, I've become a vegetarian. They were very worried. They wanted to call the psychiatrist. Very dangerous when they call people around to try to talk to me and all sorts of things. Members of the family, local priests, different things. Try to convince you, this is the work of the devil. It was like that in those days, unless you had some illness or something. It was many people, wasn't everybody, many people thought vegetarian was something really, really dangerous.
My dad thought I was kidnapped.
When you were a vegetarian?
No, when I first came to the temple, actually, sorry. He thought I was kidnapped, so I didn't tell anyone. I went for about a week or two. I thought I'd wait for a while, so they thought I was kidnapped by the Hare Krishnas.
You were.
So a similar sort of thing.
Well, not really. I was staying home. I never heard of Hare Krishna. It was just vegetarian. So it was an interesting. Of course, the hippie movement was just starting up in America at that time. They were definitely not into no drugs, no sex life outside of marriage, and these things were like, basically they were sentiment amongst pious people for, no intoxication or no sex outside of marriage. It wasn't the mood of the young people. They were not all, they were very much into sense gratification. So Prabhupada came into that situation, very hellish situation, and then he wrote this poem. This is the translation. My dear Lord Krishna, you were so kind upon this useless soul, and I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me. But I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? I was seeing America as a terrible place. Most Indians are dreaming of the opportunity to go to the land. Opportunity where the streets are paved with gold. America. Dream come true. As you see them lining up on the esplanade in, let's say, Chowpatty in Bombay, they line up there. One day I was with Gauranga Prabhu, we were going around. I asked him, what are they doing? They're all stood there looking out at the ocean. Is there something happening out there? He said, no, they're just dreaming of the day when they can go to America and go to America. They're just dreaming when I can cross that ocean and go to America. I don't know if that's what they were doing, but so many, at that time, every single Indian person you'd meet, practically without fail, especially the young ones, can you help me get a green card? That's all they'd ask. Can I ask Swamiji, or whatever they call it, can I ask a question, please? Can you please help me get a green card to go to America? That's all they'd ever ask. Every one of them. On the trains, everywhere you go. They come up and ask you if you could do that. It's about the only thing they know what to say, something. I would tell them, and I say, well, I'm not from America, where are you from? I say something like, I'm from Malaysia. I didn't even know where it was, I didn't want a green card, you won't get a green card there anyway. But that's what they think about. They did in those days, not so much now, but in those days. The problem when they said, you brought me to this terrible place. Terrible. There are no devotees of the Lord, there's no temple, there's no sacrifice going on. There's no devotional practices, no kirtans. It's a terrible place. Everyone here is into sense gratification. most of the population here is covered by the material modes of ignorance and passion, absorbed in material life. They think themselves very happy and satisfied, and therefore they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudeva. Yes, if we're too much absorbed in the material world, Vaishvaya Prasaptanam Daya Parita Chetasam Vyavasayam Yakakam Samadhana Dhyate. If we're too much absorbed in sense gratification and material opulence, the resolute determination which is required for devotion service will not take place. We're so absorbed in this kama and artha, sense gratification and economic development. Practically that's all they're interested in. Everything is meant to fulfill that purpose. Therefore the resolute determination for devotional service to the Lord does not take place. People are bewildered by these things. The tear, Bhagavata says, the tear in the Krishna, he told because he had vihavitana, and the Gogir, he's done the mistake, and up in a struggle, chavananam. They're chewing the chewed. Such people who are too much absorbed in the griha vrata, Adanta Gogir, this vow for family life, complete addiction to family development or family. Not that you shouldn't do that, but people who are completely absorbed and make that their goal of life. Adanta Gogir, making sense gratification their goal of life, Matirna Krishna, but the attraction towards Krishna cannot take place by any effort, because their minds are absorbed elsewhere. So Prabhupada is coming into an atmosphere, immediately you can see this is what's going on. People are completely absorbed in sense gratification, and totally absorbed in material life. And thus they have no ability. If we're absorbed in material life, we can't be absorbed in spiritual life. We can't go west and east at the same time. And that's the position of most people. So Prabhupada in that they wonder what how to do. I do not know how they will understand this message of Vasudeva. But I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystic. Nothing is impossible for the Lord. He doesn't generally interfere with the free will of the devotees, but he does actually fulfill the free will of his pure devotees. He doesn't interfere with the free will of ordinary people, I mean to say. But he does fulfill the will of his pure devotees. So Prabhupada is appealing to the Lord for his mercy. How will they understand the mellows of devotional service? They're absorbed in the mellows, of material life. Oh Lord, I am simply praying for your mercy, so that I will be able to convince them about your message. Those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, trying to maybe be an instrument in preaching, this is a very, very, very important point to be made here. And praying for your mercy. Actually, everything is by the mercy of Krishna. And the blade of grass moves without his will. It's only by the mercy of Krishna that we can be relieved from this world. It's only by his mercy that the material, all the material, let's say attachments, which are none other than yehi samspashita bhavadukhi yomya evate. They are sources of suffering. People think that material sense enjoyment is the source of pleasure. But one is intelligent, realizes that material sense enjoyment is actually the source of suffering because it creates bondage in this repeated world of birth and death, and also creates karmas, entangling us and causing so much misery and anxiety. And if the person doesn't take part in sense gratification and such, knowing that all such pleasures have a beginning and an end. Not interested. All living entities have become under the control of the illusory energy by your will. And therefore, if you like, by your will, they can also be released from the clutches of illusion. As we mentioned this morning, this is Krishna's reciprocation. He doesn't enforce his will on others exactly. He's reciprocating according to our desire and karma. So we are in the spiritual realm in some way or another. Can you imagine in the spiritual realm or any realm, if there's somebody you don't like, you're averse to, but everywhere you go, there they are. It's not very nice. You're trying to get away with them, they get away from them, and everywhere you go, there they are, and everyone's talking their glories. It's quite miserable. So the Lord, therefore, covers living entities who feel averse towards him by his Maya potency, his Mahamaya potency. And he creates this cloud in the spiritual sky in which we can float around as long as we're averse to him. We can float around in this cloud called the material world, the universe is. But without Krishna's will, we can't actually, we can't even come into this world, because this world is created by Krishna. It's his creation. There's no other choice. Without his will, we can't fulfill any desire. And everything within this material world, there's nothing we can fulfill without his mercy. Everything is provided by the Lord. And to get out of this world also is impossible, absolutely impossible on our own. It's only by the mercy of the Lord that we can get out of this material world. And he gives his mercy to one who actually receives the mercy of his devotee. We have to please his devotees, serve his devotees. So when the devotee or the aspiring devotee so many desires to actually go back to God, and he receives the mercy of the devotee, then by the will of the Lord he may go back to God. I wish that you may deliver them, so Krishna Prabhupada wishes that Krishna, you please deliver all his conditioned souls. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. By the mercy of Krishna. The words of Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation, and if a sober person repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, you will be able to understand your message. That's the secret, oral reception. It's not a question of learning exactly. It's not a question of any kind of material qualification. It's a question of hearing it submissively with oral reception, or submissive oral reception. The messages of the Bhagavatam purify us. They act like autumnal rains in the field. They nourish that seed. It may be dormant right now, but in the heart there is a seed of devotion, so that bhakti not a beach in the heart. There in the heart. By the association of devotees, it can be awakened within our hearts. So the important thing is to hear this message attentively. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, have you heard this with an attentive mind? Are your doubts now removed? Is your wonder now removed? Because if you haven't heard this message, but you're acting, or if you don't hear attentively, but you act by your false ego, you'll be lost. So we have this to have. Hearing the message purifies our consciousness. We have to hear carefully and attentively the message of Krishna consciousness. That will automatically purify our heart. And if we hear this message from those who are near to Krishna, those who are actually freed of this material affection or its material attachments, we hear it from them and it acts like oshadi, it acts like medicine, purifying our hearts. It is simple. Hearing the message from the right source in the right way, the heart will become cleansed of all misgivings. You will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. And this is some verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire from material enjoyment. Cleanses desire from material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavata and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive action is terminated when one sees the self as master. And ultimately, first, in this material world, you could say the soul is also a master, but ultimately the supreme soul. Master of masters. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and most fallen. Therefore I am seeking your benediction, so that I can convince them. For I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or another, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a successful failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel gladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, O Lord. Make me dance as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I've been designated as Bhaktivedanta, and now if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhaktivedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, on board the ship Jaladuta, Commonwealth Pier, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, 18th of September, 1965. This is the mood of a preacher. The mood of absolute humility. And humility is to depend entirely on Krishna. It's not some material manipulation or exercise or even the quality of the mode of goodness. It's actually the nature of the pure devotee. One time Prabhupada was given a lecture about the nature of, different levels of devotees, the risks of possible fall down and so on, from different levels, explaining how the ultimate Bhagavata is basically beyond. Ultimate Bhagavatas do not fall down into mind. Madhyam Medu and the Kanishta can very easily fall. And Srila Prabhupada afterwards in his room was praying almost like helplessly to Radharani to please protect him. And his servant asked Srila Prabhupada, he couldn't understand exactly what Prabhupada's intention. Prabhupada, you're Uttama Bhagavata, you're the topmost devotee. So Srila Prabhupada explained that the mood of the devotee, especially the topmost devotee, is they're always taking shelter of the Lord. That's what makes one a topmost devotee. topmost devotee is one who is humbly, always taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. He's not thinking, I am knowledge, I am control. Like Prabhupada said in his poem, I have no knowledge, I have no devotion. I only have faith in the holy name. I have no knowledge, go back to. They don't consider they possess anything. Totally taking shelter of the holy name, taking shelter of the Lord. That is the caliber, the characteristic of the pure devotee of the Lord. As soon as one stops taking shelter of the Lord, one's full. They're teaching us to always try to take shelter of Krishna in all your activities. Be conscious and act always under his direction. Depend always upon him. It's our business in everything we do. And Srila Prabhupada this song in this mood of humility, begging for the Lord's mercy that he could be an instrument, as Arjuna, Krishna said to Arjuna, just become an instrument. Just become an instrument in the fight. So the devotee sees himself like that. He's an instrument in the hands of the Lord. Just desire voluntarily stepped in that position to become an instrument for the Lord's will. It sounds like one loses one's own independence or one's free will. And that's the free will of the devotee. He wants that. He loves Krishna. He wants to please Krishna. Whatever it is, we are a part and parcel. As a part and parcel of the body has to act under the direction of the whole body. Similarly, the living entity, unless acting in cooperation with the whole, will never be satisfied. Any part and parcel of this body which doesn't act in coordination or cooperation with the whole body will never be satisfied, whatever limb it may be. And certainly the jiva, Mami Vangsha Jiva, Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, is the eternal fragmented part and parcel of the Lord. We'll only be satisfied when we reconnect our consciousness with that of the Lord. We'll never be satisfied with anything else. Srila Prabhupada was in this way seeing himself as the instrument of the Lord. We'll try to sing a song now. And song. How many of you are familiar with this song? How many of you have sung it before? How many? No? Anyway, try. Hare Krishna, I'd just like to remind everyone that this is our last evening here in Sydney for some time. Tomorrow morning we're leaving from Melbourne. And next week we have the wonderful privilege and opportunity to get the association with His Holiness Vicky Purnamara, who's coming here next week. I don't know what his program is. Hopefully you'll get lots of chance to associate with him. And this year, to commemorate this event, which was Prabhupada's arrival in Boston, we have a special function. Every year we have this function. I don't know whether or not in Sydney you have much opportunity to take part in it. Every year we have this annual World Holy Name Week, which culminates in the actual day of Prabhupada's arrival in Boston. And it starts on Ekadashi this year. We had a special request of a few devotees to start on Ekadashi, so it's starting a bit earlier this year, 5th of September to the 15th of September. If you can, during that period of time, please make a note. Try to increase the Sankirtan during that time. Whatever form of Sankirtan it takes. Japa, Kirtan, book distribution. But especially the holy name, distribution of the holy name. Try to be a little part, maybe. A part of a great thing is great, but it's still the same quality. So if we can still be a little part of this great movement of Lord Chaitanya, of Srila Prabhupada, to spread the holy name in every town and village, Pati-Pati, Yati-Yati, Nagarati-Gram, Sarvatra, Pachor, Hoipimor, whatever little part we can play. Maybe it's just in our home, but still, that's a part of the village, part of the town. Invite people around for kirtan. Just try to have more kirtan, more japa as well if you can. Talk about the glories of the holy name more. Just try to be conscious that it's the Yuga Dharma. It's the only infallible means of success. Is the emperor of all sadhana. Sadhana or practice of spiritual practices, utilizing our body, mind, senses in various ways, trying to engage in a devotional service. But the emperor of all sadhana is the congregation of chanting. We try to take it as a little impetus. Hopefully we should be doing this Kirtaniya Sadhari, but of course we can. But at least sometimes we have these little extra, like 12-hour kirtan, 24-hour kirtan melas, Harinam Sankirtan 3 or 4 times a week going out on the streets. We could do it all the time if we will one day when we realize this is our only business, is spreading the holy name, chanting the holy name and spreading the holy name. That's what our temples are for, to, basically speaking, facilitate the exercise of the performance or the practice of Nam Sankirtan. and to perform the yogya for this age of Kali. That's what our temples are for. To places where people can come and engage in sacrifice, especially the chanting of the holy names. To take advantage, it creates auspiciousness all over the world. Wherever one goes, chanting of the holy name creates auspiciousness, benefits the whole world. So please take advantage. This is arti ready. Okay, the conch can blow, the curtains can open, and we can focus our attention on Radha Gopinath. Any time to Baladev Subhadra and pray for their mercy, that we may someday be able to do a little service to these Prabhupada, to show a little bit of indebtedness to Srila Prabhupada for what he's given the world. A little bit of sacrifice, oh, it's too tough. Yeah, sometimes we may feel like that, but material life is tough. The material world is tough. And we got a little bit of sacrifice to get out of it. And a very joyful sacrifice if we actually absorb ourselves in it. And one we can please Krishna and please Srila Prabhupada. So please take advantage. The 15th of September, maybe someone will put some notice up on the board if it's not already there. And give you some leaflets for who the notice man is. But please do take note. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. If we don't see you before we leave, we wish you all success in your spiritual paths. Hare Krishna. See you next time. Otherwise, in the morning we are scheduled to give the Srimad Bhagavata. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.